Hey, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of Bold Leaders in Learning. I'm your co-host, Brandon Busteed, Chief Partnership Officer at Kaplan, joined by my colleague, Kaitlin Dumont. We are going to be interviewing JC Polanco today. JC is the fairly new president and CEO of the Council on Legal Education Opportunity, known as CLEO. We got a lot of questions for you today, JC, and I was delighted to hear that you are also in DC right now. I live just outside DC in Vienna, Virginia. JC, thanks for joining us. Would love to have you just tell us maybe the quick highlights of your own background, but more importantly, tell us about the work that you and CLEO are doing.
Thank you so much, Brandon and Kaitlin. So nice to see both of you. I've been watching your prior episodes, and I'm very excited to be part of your program. CLEO, the Council on Legal Education Opportunity, is celebrating its 55th year anniversary this year. And for the last 55 years, we've helped over 30,000 students achieve their dreams of becoming attorneys. It's an incredible program. And for me personally, it's one of those dream come true opportunities. I have a long career in education and the law, and I get to lead an incredible team, work with a diverse board of fellow attorneys that are driven to really diversify the legal profession. So we work tirelessly, work with organizations. We have a long history working with Kaplan and so many important groups around the country in doing just that. So I hope that today we have an opportunity to examine what we've been working on, some of the things that we have looking into the future, and how some of your viewers may be interested in going to CLEOinc.org and taking a look at some of our incredible pipelines that have been working so incredibly well.
Yeah, definitely seconded for CLEOinc.org. JC, I was just so amazed by the amazing work that the organization is doing. And I was particularly excited for today's conversation because we have some dovetailing interests. My mom also grew up in the Bronx and is a proud Fordham alumna. So can you start by sharing your background with us, what drew you to the law and how that relates to your current role?
Well, isn't it exciting? Send my regards to the Bronx family.
Will do.
I'm from the Bronx. I live in the Bronx. I'm a Bronx kid through and through, let me tell you. It's an incredible place. It's an incredible place of people with very serious hard work ethic. My parents are from the Dominican Republic. They're a first generation American. I'm so happy they did come to this amazing country to give me a better opportunity. It's just incredible to know so many people come from the Bronx and they get to achieve their dreams because of really the fabric that of hardworking people that come from all over the country and encourage each other to persevere. Is why I make it my home to this day. Like so many kids in the Bronx, I grew up in poverty. I grew up in the Fordham section of the Bronx, and I grew up at a time where drugs and violence wreaked complete havoc in a lot of people's lives. I've lost a lot of friends, and I grew up at a time where my parents were very concerned about what would the future hold. I know that a lot of your viewers could remember the crack epidemic and how that impacted a lot of communities. Mine was one of those. One thing that my parents instilled in me, and I see that so many other of my friends grew up in the Bronx, especially first generation ones, was that education is the key to success. If you focus hard, if you work hard, and we will be there with you. If you do everything you can to achieve education and to do well in school, you'll be able to succeed and make a difference and change lives. And that's something that was instilled in me and a lot of the kids I grew up with. And that really gave me an incredible opportunity because I always knew that I wanted to be an attorney. Folks ask me, how did you know? I remember in third grade, I wanted to be an attorney. I remember watching an episode of Perry Mason in black and white, Don't Ask Me. It was right after I Love Lucy in one of those snowy days in the Bronx. And I remember watching Matlock growing up with my dad on Tuesday nights. And although I never knew an attorney, I knew that folks that were successful, the people that made decisions, the people that were in the room where it happens, to quote Hamilton and Lin-Manuel Miranda, all had law degrees. I got to go to Fordham Prep. I went to undergrad at Albany, where I majored in history and political science, always focusing on that pre-law. But while in Albany, I was there under the Educational Opportunity Program, a program designed to diversify schools, diversify the State University of New York system, by giving kids that come from where I come from an opportunity to learn and to level out the playing field. That did wonders for me because I got to work with students like me from where we come from, and that motivated me to keep going further ahead. So what I did was, I'm sorry I talk so long. I get so passionate about this, Kaitlin and Brandon, because I came back to the Bronx and I got to teach social studies at Truman High School while going to law school at night. I was able to go to law school because of Kaplan. I bought all the Kaplan books. After law school, I had already spent a good amount of my time teaching in the New York City public school system. I had an opportunity to give back to students, and to this day, Kaitlin and Brandon, I have so many students that I taught at Truman that are now attorneys themselves. Some are doctors, many business owners. Almost all of them follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and to see the trajectory of their careers is incredible. The power of education to come back and to be able to give back to the kids in the Bronx while going to law school at night really was something that really motivated me. And I knew that I wanted to make a difference. So I went over to the state legislature where I was able to head the New York City operations for the state assembly and really focus on education, economic development. But I could never get the teaching out of me. So I have been nonstop teaching in front of students for the last 23 years. I've been teaching at the Borough of Manhattan Community College since 2007. Before that at Boricua College, but always teaching. And here I am leading an organization like CLEO, focusing on making sure that students where I'm coming from have an opportunity to succeed by giving them the tools they need to be able to equal that playing field, how to think like a lawyer, how to write like a lawyer, how to read like a lawyer. And it's just a dream come true for me. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. It's almost like a long bio. I'm sorry I spoke so long, but I get really excited about all the opportunities I got along the way. Folks like you and Brandon and Kaitlin that worked for Kaplan and educational organizations that gave me a shot. So I'm very fortunate to be here with you and to talk about this. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's well. First of all, congratulations. Thank you. Right. I mean that your story is an incredible one. It's a powerful one. It's the one that we obviously want to believe in terms of how we think about the education opportunity in our country. We know it's working for some people, right? It's definitely not working for everybody. We know we still have a lot of work ahead. You mentioned how you've been teaching at BMCC, in the community college. Kaplan Education Foundation does an awful lot of work with community college students. In fact, our focus is on underrepresented minorities who are in community colleges who have the potential to go off to, not just four-year institutions, but some of the hardest to get into, most elite, academically challenging institutions. And we work on supporting their transfer from community college into those top-tier institutions. Tell us a little bit about, from your perspective of thinking about the legal field, which I know you think about very specifically, but specifically related to how do we do a better job in this country benefiting from the talent that is in our community colleges?
Well, thank you for what you do with the Kaplan Foundation. It's just incredible because I know how successful it's been. I know how important it is in the lives of so many folks. Community colleges are so important. It's why I teach there. I have a law degree and an MBA I got from Fordham at Knights. That gives me the opportunity to teach in the business department as well as the Department of Race and Ethnic Studies. So I teach business law, intro to business, as well as the history of the Dominican Republic, economic development of the Caribbean. So I get to see a plethora of students and their interests. And community college is a wonderful place for people to get their start. Some folks, all of them at BMCC, where I've been for the last 16 years, they come from communities like the ones that I shared with you, folks that want to make it and haven't developed the tools or don't know how to. So they come to community college to work on the skills that they need. And in community college, what you will find is incredible professors with PhDs and doctorates from all over the country who come and dedicate their entire careers to work with this specific group of students and with Kaplan, because from the foundation work that you do exactly the kind of student that we're talking about. This is the non-traditional student. This is a student who may be a parent. This is a student who may have to work full-time during the day and has to come to school at night to take classes with me. But this is a student who's hungry for success, who knows the education is the key moving forward, and who has been inspired enough to apply and to matriculate into a program and immerse themselves, notwithstanding their schedule. A lot of the community college students that I'm sure you work with have other careers or have to provide for their families and are very much unlike many of the other traditional students where all they do is go to school. But community college offers an opportunity for folks to come in and really hone in on the skills that they're going to need for the four-year institutions moving forward. So we're very important because we give folks an opportunity when they didn't think they can do it. That's another thing. A lot of folks say, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I can't compete. And they may find that community college is exactly where they belong for the first 2 years of their time in academia, so that they can get back into writing, back into knowing how to read correctly, back into dealing with the math skills that they're going to need. And because of all of the different programs at community college, they'll be able to participate in extracurricular activities as well as in different departments, so that they become a well-rounded student, and they'll be light years ahead of those that are in the 4-year institution. That's what I've discovered. So when I tell you that I have seen students come into my classroom, first generation from the hills of Russia, like Vera, who I'm sure is watching today, and comes to the United States with $20 in her pocket, and is able to not only finish strong at BMCC, but go on to City College and then go to Fordham Law School. And today has an incredible career as a practicing attorney in Manhattan. Like those, I have at least 40 students in my time at BMCC who came with that exact drive. BMCC is a place, and community colleges across the country, as I visit them in my position at CLEO and as a guest speaker, you will find the students with the most drive, with the most ambition. And these are the students that we need to tap because they have it. So I'm a very big supporter of making sure that folks look at community college as a place where you can just come in and succeed even further, because we'll give you the tools necessary so that you can compete. We are in community college, as you know, we are the ones that create that equal playing field. So we work very hard towards that end. And it's exciting to see how more and more students are realizing this and going to community college. There's also another advantage, and I want to address Brendan and Kaitlin. It's the financial impact, right? You have students that don't have the money, and they can actually save a lot of money if they get their first 2 years in and get those credits in at a community college before transferring over to a 4-year. So that's one thing that I want to make sure everybody keeps in mind. Community college isn't someplace where, it's just another year of high school. I want people to know we do great work. We do serious academic work, and a lot of students benefit from it.